Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited to have you here with me today. If you are new here, then welcome. My name is Rachel and I am a speaker, an author, a business owner, but most importantly for today, I am an accountant. If you're not new here, welcome back. I am so excited to have you here. Today, I'm going to be talking all about how you can start an accountancy practice from scratch. I'm going to be talking about qualifications, practicing certificates, compliance, insurances, business plans, marketing, how to find clients, startup costs, and softwares that you can use to help you along the way. Before we get stuck into today's video, I just wanted to say a very quick thank you to today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by TaxDome, an all-in-one practice management platform for CPAs, bookkeepers, and accounting firms. They offer revolutionary workflow automation so that you can fully automate the processes at your firm and get MTD ready in no time at all. You can sign up to TaxDome today using the link in the description to this video to get an additional 2 user months completely free. Back to the video. I thought I'd kick things off just by explaining my journey so far to help you understand why I'm qualified to actually put this video together and talk to you about it today. So I run a chartered certified accountancy practice called Strivex Accountants. I run the business with my life partner, business partner, and brand new husband. We are just married, James. 2 years ago, we were a one-man band with 50 clients. Fast forward 2 years and a whole roller coaster. We are now a team of 10 with over 500 clients and an online community of over 10,000 people. Alongside scaling the practice, I undertook an executive MBA, which is a master's in business, which helped me to be very, very specific, targeted about our growth, scaling, and marketing opportunities. Throughout my own journey of growing, scaling, and starting an accountancy practice, I really craved mentorship from somebody who had been there, done it, gone to Accountex, and got the free t-shirt. So now that I'm further into my own journey, more established as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, also as an accountant, I offer exactly that to people who are looking to start or scale their own accountancy practice. If that's something that you are interested in or you'd like to talk about, I do have a waiting list to become a mentee of mine, and so you can check out the link in the description to this video to join the waiting list and have a conversation about becoming a mentee of mine. So, how to start an accountancy practice. This is basically the video that I wish I had 2 years ago, and so I'm just going to spill the tea, tell you everything that I wish I knew, and hopefully impart some wisdom, maybe tick off, add a couple of things onto your to-do list that you maybe had forgotten or not thought about. So how to start your accountancy practice from scratch. Let's go. So first things first, let's kick things off by talking about qualifications. In order to launch your own accountancy practice, you need to be a qualified accountant. Whether that means becoming a certified accounting technician through AAT, or if you'd like to run a chartered accountancy practice, you'll need to be certified with ACCA or ICAEW, which is the ACA qualification. For the purpose of this video, I am going to assume that you are a qualified accountant, but if you're not, don't worry, you can still follow along with this video, understand the processes. Just make sure that when you're done, you check out this playlist on my YouTube channel, which is specifically for accountancy students. Okay, so once you've got your qualification, we now need to talk about compliance. So from day one, you need to comply with the rules and regulations required for opening and running an accountancy practice, which includes being fully licensed to take on this work. So in the UK, any accountant that has a professional qualification like AAT, ACCA or ACA, and who is a principal in a public accountancy practice must hold a practicing certificate, also called a practicing license. I do have a disclaimer which I think is obvious, but it might not be to you, so I will just mention it, that students who are currently still studying towards a qualification cannot obtain a practicing license. You have to be a fully qualified accountant in order to get a practicing license. Some people do AAT, get an AAT practicing license, then go on to study chartered, but until they are chartered, operate under an AAT practicing license. But if you don't have any formal accounting qualification and you are training towards one, you will not be able to get a practicing license until you are qualified. I do have a separate YouTube video, which I'll link up here, which is all about obtaining a practicing license. So I definitely recommend that you check that video out after this one. As we're in the compliance section, as well as your practicing certificate or practicing license, you will also need to make sure that you are complying with any other industry legislation, such as anti-money laundering regulations, data protection, and the Information Commissioner's Office. Next up, we have got insurance. I thought I, for this section, would specifically focus on professional indemnity insurance, which is the insurance that's very specific to our industry. Professional indemnity insurance will cover your business in the event of any compensation claims made by a client or a member of the public, in the event that they believe that you have made a mistake at work. Don't forget that as your business grows and scales, your insurance requirements and the values that you're insured for will increase with your business. If you are hiring staff members, going out into the public to have staff meetings and client meetings, there are lots of different insurance policies for each different scenario, and you will need to be insured to cover everything. So those are the technicalities, the qualifications, and the compliance around actually starting an accountancy practice. But what lots of people forget is that just because you're an accountant, you are still starting a business. In many ways, the regulatory and the legal side of things is the easy bit. Setting up your own practice is unlikely to suit you if you don't have the skills and qualities required to be your own boss. You need to be organized, determined, and passionate in order to make this a success. Despite what you might think from looking at people's LinkedIn profiles, growing a practice doesn't happen overnight, and it's no small feat to undertake. As for the skills that you'll need that fall outside the stereotypical accountant role, you're going to need to learn and think and educate yourself all about marketing, planning, budgeting, startup costs, and recruitment. And these are all things that you'll need to consider from day one and incorporate into your business plans. So now you've decided to start your own practice. You're qualified, you've got your practicing license, you are compliant, you're insured. You open your laptop on day one and a tumbleweed rolls across your desk because you've got no clients. Incorporated into the business plan I just mentioned, you need to consider your brand and how you anticipate taking on clients. Within your brand, you need to ask yourself what you want your business to be called, what logo design you'd like. Do you want business cards? What will your website look like? Will you promote yourself on social media networks? If so, which ones? Will you attend in-person networking events? And what sort of clients do you want to work with? Finding clients and finding the right clients is all about intentional marketing. I do have a separate YouTube video all about specific marketing tips for accountants, which I'll pop up here for you to watch after this video. Next up, I'm going to be talking about the startup costs that you can expect to incur when you're starting your own practice. The pre-launch expenses that you're going to be looking at are website costs, branding costs, logo design, the fee for obtaining a practicing license, your professional membership fees with your governing body, business insurances, computer expenses for a laptop, keyboard, mouse, fancy stand-up desk with a Peloton underneath, whatever it is that you want. Subscriptions for things like Microsoft licenses, Adobe packages. Those are the things that everybody always forgets, but they do add up and make a difference to your budgeting. Premises costs if you would like an office, but if you don't want an office, will it cost you any money to turn your at-home space into an appropriate office suitable for launching a business? And then also, do you need to think about trademarking your business name, logo, and branding to protect yourself? The other thing to think about with pre-launch expenses is, are you going to use your personal mobile phone for the business? Are you going to get a separate mobile phone number? Or alternatively, if you would like to feel a little bit more official, there are online providers who offer something called Pocket Landline, which is where you can get a landline telephone number, so people think you've got a big fancy office, but actually that telephone number just diverts to your mobile phone, which is a great top tip from me. So you've launched, your website's live, your branding is out there, and then you get your first client. I'm now going to run through some expenses and costs that you'll need to consider once you actually start taking on clients. I'm then also going to run through my recommendations for the best software out there from somebody who learned the hard way. So the things you're going to want to think about once you start taking on clients, and again, these are all in order to maintain compliance. The first one is anti-money laundering software. The next is CRM software, so customer relationship management software. Software and processes to implement within your business to make sure that you never miss a deadline, and there are a lot of them. You will take on your first client and think, I'll just make a spreadsheet, I'll never forget a deadline. All of a sudden, you become Rachel, you've got 500 clients, thousands of deadlines, and you're going to need a process in place. Next up, I've got accounts preparation and submission software. And then finally, I've got working paper templates and bundles. So I wanted to cover this section off because it's a part of the business that a lot of people think they'll worry about when they get there, but actually when you get there and you take on your first client, your priority is going to be delivering exceptional service. You are going to want to have thought about these things in advance. So I just mentioned AML, CRM, and deadline software. And we actually use a solution that incorporates all of those things into one. Okay, next up, something that I wanted to elaborate further on that was in the list of things that you're going to need to think about once you take on your first client is working papers, working paper templates, working paper bundles, all of the processes, procedures, and compliance parts of preparing accounts and tax returns that you need to think about before you take on a client. So with working papers, a solution for this didn't really exist when we started our practice, and so we made a solution ourselves. We have built an on-demand course which teaches you everything that you need to know about the practicalities of running your own practice. It includes working paper templates, frequently asked questions, homework for you to follow the process through yourself, and walkthroughs to show you as a practice owner how to complete and undertake bookkeeping for clients, VAT, sole trader accounts, limited company accounts, self-assessment tax returns, and corporation tax returns. You can check out our lovely course, which is called Practice Makes Perfect, using the link in the description of this video. So to zoom out, in this order, this is what you need to think about when you are starting your own practice. Number 1 is qualifications. Number 2 is compliance. Number 3 is getting insured. Number 4 is the business side of the business. We've then got finding clients. We've then got startup costs. And then you need to think about what happens when you take on a client. How to start an accountancy practice from scratch is the YouTube video that I wish I had 2 years ago, and so I am so excited to be delivering it to you today. A big thank you again to today's sponsor, TaxDome. Their automations really help to free up time and streamline your processes. To learn more, you can find the link to their website and a sign-up link below, which will also give you 2 user months completely free of charge. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I hope to see you again very soon.